Take it and tuck it up in that 90-degree angle. I love the stilts. Just make you so much more mobile, so much more free. Get it in there. Sometimes your tape will start wrinkling on you. Just keep smashing it in until you get those wrinkles out. If you can't get every single little wrinkle out, try to go the other way with the knife. And then, you know, once you cover it with the mud, this mud has so much glue in it that it's never gonna move. Never. The tape and the paper of the sheetrock, it all becomes like one giant, enormous piece of sheetrock all glued together. So that's why I say you can't go wrong with the paper tape. Can you go wrong with mesh tape? Yes. Is mesh tape better than paper tape in some situations? In my opinion, yes. So I use both types. I'm not going to tell you the difference. You'll have to look on my other videos, because once I start taping my arches, then you'll see where I use the mesh tape. Okay. But I'm not to that point. Right now the strategy is just to get the area where the bedrooms are, get that done. And then we'll worry about the arches. Now I go over here, just kind of cleaning the wall off as I go, since I'm in that area. I got a bunch of mud there. It's too much for me to handle, so I got to put it back on the hawk. All right, last piece of corner tape. So I like to take this and put it in the wet mud and then shove it up in there. Take it over here. Knife comes out of the scrubs. Goes in the corner, tears it. Roll, 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 roll. Knife back in the pocket. Get it in. Embedded, firmly embedded. Sometimes I can see that the tape is not sticking, so I'll take my I'll take mud on my knife and I'll shove it up under the tape. And that'll make it stick. Okay, now the tape is embedded and it's time to coat the tape. All right, gonna coat the tape. Now what I do is I take a little bit of mud and I get it on the corner. I don't have to fill my whole 6-inch knife up with the mud. I just put it on the corner. I'm just coating the tape. If you're watching this video and you're thinking, this is taking this guy forever. Well, yes, it does take a long time. So if you don't have the patience or the time to do the sheetrock, maybe you should think about hiring somebody else to do it. But if you're of that mindset, then you're probably not a fan of my channel. So if you're a fan of my channel, maybe it's because you're thinking of doing a lot of the work on your house yourself and you're watching me do it and you've seen the success I've had. So I'm here to encourage you to do the work on your house. Learn how to do it. Nobody can take that from you. Nobody can take that from you. Learn how to do it yourself. Nobody's gonna, if you want it done right, you gotta do it yourself. Nobody's gonna do as good a job on your house as you will. Nobody. If you're just an investor and you just want to do a cheap, crappy job and you don't care if your tenants are happy, well, then you and I do not see the same way. I want to, if you're watching the channel, I hope you're the type of person that appreciates someone who takes pride in his work. Or you are that type of person and you will take pride in your work. My self-identity is integrally tied to the quality of work I do. If I can't do a good job, I don't want the job. If the people who are hiring me to do a job, they don't want me to do a good job, I don't want the job. Don't want to work for people like that. All they want is cheap labor. Go find that somewhere else. The quality of my work is of utmost importance. I'm not saying that I'm the best sheetrocker ever. I'm not. There's way better sheetrockers than me. But the type of sheetrocker that I could afford to do this, no thanks. I'll just do it myself. So just keep that in mind. If you're out chasing price, you'll get somebody come and do a cheap job for you, but you want it done right, or do you want it done right now? You get what you pay for. That's true for construction too. I mean, there's a delicate balance. Some people, they overcharge. But some people, they're just going to give you the cheapest, quickest, dirtiest job they can. So, that's why I'm saying, do it yourself can be your best option. In my case, it is my best option. Unquestionably so. Okay, getting all the tape covered. Cover that tape. This is like one of those fireplace videos we put on at Christmas time where it's nothing but a fire crackling on your TV. And it makes you sit there and go to sleep. I appreciate those videos. This video might serve the same purposes for you. Maybe watching somebody work makes you fall asleep. If so, I'm happy to oblige. Happy to oblige. Or maybe you're sitting there thinking, if this rambling idiot can build his own house, I can build my own house. Okay, that's fine. That's fair criticism. I'll take that. Because a lot of the people I've seen and known in construction, it's just like, man, these people have just horrible problems in their life, and if they can do that, I can do it too. When I say it, I mean if they could do a good job on their trade. If they, like, for example, if I see a sheetrocker and I'm thinking, man, that doesn't seem like a very smart person, I could probably do that. It gives me confidence. Or if I see a roofer that's just, his life is just horrible. Anybody can tell from the moment they watch him stumble onto the job site drunk and high. But you sit there and you watch him, and at the end of the day you think, wow, man, look at all the work that guy did, man. If he's a drug addict and he can get up there and do that, that gives me confidence to try, So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to pass judgment on people. I'm just trying to say, maybe I can be that rambling idiot for you. And you can see me up here on stilts doing this, and you're thinking, if he can do that, I can do it. Well, if that works to get you motivated to build your own house, I've done my job. Okay? I don't know if you realize the shortage of construction workers in the country. I don't know if you realize the high demand of housing. I just feel sorry for the young kids today. Things are getting more expensive and more expensive. How are they ever going to afford homes? Read the newspaper. They don't do newspapers anymore, but read the news. Online articles, they'll tell you. This is a valuable skill. valuable trade. Maybe people don't want to pay you enough to do it, but if you do it yourself, then you're just increasing your net worth exponentially. Now, don't do it wrong, because if you mess up, then that's even worse. You could just really create a lot of problems for yourself if you just jump into this willy-nilly and you don't do it right. It could be very costly. So, but don't worry, that's why you're watching my channel, okay? Maybe not only my channel, but that's why you're watching YouTube, because you're trying to figure out and learn how to do this. Well, that's the best start. I was a young boy. They didn't have YouTube when I was a young boy. I had to read books. And I got a lot from reading. I still buy books on Amazon and read books. And most of this that I do is self-taught. That's why it takes so long. But you got to start somewhere. Okay? So if you've watched this video, then feel good about yourself that you're trying to learn something that's going to be valuable, instead of just watching whatever other garbage there is out there on YouTube, where you're just nothing but a guinea pig for the corporations to just exploit your mind and advertise to your cravings. This video may be extremely boring. It's not very flashy, but if you're watching this video, then if you've watched it until now and you endured my ramblings, then congratulate yourself, because this is something productive we're doing here. We're doing productive things on this channel. It's extremely rewarding to look back at your life and see all the productive things that you've done. And I've been able to do that through the years. In my career in construction. Now it's time for the corner tool. It's dripping wet. I keep it in the bucket of water so the mud doesn't dry it out. Take a little bit of mud off the pot, and we just go to town. Go to town. Just use the hawk, clean off the extra mud. Walking. Now, sometimes the old stilts, they're wobbly gobbly. And so, you really don't want to be moving too much when you're taking this tool down the line. You are going to get little lines in the tool, in the mud where you stop it. Don't freak out, those can be sanded. But try not to leave big lines. And this little tool is like an airplane touching down on the runway. When you go into that mud, you don't want to go in at a sharp angle. You want to just come in at the smoothest angle possible, so you're not gouging the mud. You just think of an airplane as it takes off and lands on the runway. That's what the tool for the mud does. And if some of my subscribers think I'm yelling at the camera, I'm sorry, but I just don't know what the volume is going to be, so I'm sorry if it comes off that I'm yelling in the camera. little tool is it's just invaluable to make these inside corners pretty. Get yourself an inside corner tool. They're cheap. All the sheetrock tools are cheap. This is one of the best ways to add equity to your construction project. It's low tech and it's just really time consuming, so if you've got time, you can turn that into equity, increase your net worth. Maybe the electrician stuff, maybe that's a little bit too complicated. I understand that. Maybe you feel more confident just doing the sheetrock. Sheetrock's a great way to add equity to your project, okay? If you got nothing better to do. Right now I got nothing better to do because it's winter and there's not a lot I mean there's construction all year round, but I don't want to go and freeze to death like I have other years. So I thought this year, instead of freezing to death, I'll just work on my own house because it's heated. So that's what I'm doing. All right. Now, we're going to take those gouge marks out of the mud. I got my empty hawk here, and I'll probably just start over here. Put my knife on this angle. See, I gotta angle it. Take out the gouge marks. Feather the bottom. Take out the gouge marks. Feather the bottom. What do you mean when you say feather? Well, if you think of the shape of a feather, it goes from nothing to a little bit fatter. Where you're in mud, touches the wall down here, that's where you want it nothing, and it's going to be fatter up there. Okay? Taking out the gouge marks. Feather in the mud. So remember, you can sand it. I mean, you don't want to leave a lot because then it's making more work for yourself. But don't get too critical and too OCD if it's not 100% perfect. That's what the next layer's for. That's the thing about construction, is it's done in layers. Every layer, you make it better than the previous layer, okay? You don't be too hard on yourself on the first coat. Just like when you do rough framing, there's layers that go on top of that. It's going to hide your mistakes. You have to know which mistakes you're hiding. You still want to be careful on your rough framing, but it's not, remember, it's not finished carpentry. And also the texture that I'm applying to this mud job is going to hide a lot of the sins. Okay? I'm going to do a heavy texture on this, but I still want to try to make it look as good as possible. So I'm going to close the door a little bit No, I can't do that for the... I can't close the door on your YouTube. I'll just work around it. Okay? I will just work around the door. If I close the door, then you might just turn the video off and say, I'm not watching this guy. You know, and if you've made it this far, well, there's something of value in this video for you. Okay, so I've worked around that door. I usually like to go down farther than that. I'm going down in my vertical corners right here. I like to go down farther than that so that when I'm off the stilts, I don't have to reach up so high. Back with more mud. I've probably used half a box of mud right here just on what you've seen me tape. So I don't even want to tell you how much mud I'm going to be buying for this project. But if you're doing your little budget before you're to decide whether or not you want to build your house, if you left off sheetrock mud, or let me just tell you, you're probably going to be $1,000 just in sheetrock mud, okay? So if the lumber is freaking you out, the electrical wiring, whatever is freaking you out, if $1,000 in sheetrock mud freaks you out, well, that's nothing compared to all the little things you're going to be buying here and there. So just want to let you know that I'll probably spend more than $1,000 on the sheetrock mud. $1,000 ain't nothing anymore, huh? In Joe Biden's economy, that was a joke. I don't care. If you like Joe Biden, good for you. If you like Trump, good for you. I don't care. I'm just telling you the inflation. I'm just making a joke, okay? Don't unsubscribe from me just because I made a dig at Joe Biden, or if I make a dig at Trump, don't unsubscribe from me. Don't do it. Learn valuable skills from me, from my channel. Don't unsubscribe. That corner took a lot of mud. That's the nice thing about the paper tape is if you have a big corner, it'll keep all the mud in that corner. It'll keep all the mud in the corner. If the hands get mud, just wipe them off, because if those hands get slippery and muddy, then you lose control of your mud. Lose control of the mud. Alright, now, with my empty hawk, we do the corner tape. Corner tape. See why you don't, this is why you don't put your doors on before you tape the sheetrock. Don't do it, because then it'll just be a hassle to try to work. But sometimes, like with this, I knew it was going to be in my way, but I thought, well, what's going to be in my way more? When I tape the sheetrock or to stumble over that door and move it a million times? And so I said, well, okay, this piece of tape's too short. It goes in the garbage. I said, well, I'll just stumble around the door and put it on. And so now I knew this moment would happen. But sometimes you just have to work around stuff. I'm working around the door. I don't like to. I don't like when my access is restricted. But sometimes you have situations of restricted access. And this, I knew that I would never do this if I knew a sheetrocker was coming. Like if I was paying somebody to do this job, I would take the door off the hinges. I would never expect somebody to work in a restricted access scenario that I created. Okay? Because if I do that, I'm just going to make them mad, and then maybe their morale will go down and they'll be like, this guy's an idiot. I just want to get out of here as soon as possible. I'm going to do stuff that he can't see, cut corners that he doesn't know about or he can't see, because he restricted my access. So there's another little valuable tip for you, coming from someone that works in construction. If you're restricting access, then you've just pissed off your workers, and then your project's just going to start going downhill from there. So don't restrict access. Anything you can get out of their way, get it out of their way, so they have a clear access, unobstructed way to do their work, okay? So take that to heart. Take it to heart. Don't restrict access, okay? That's important. Like when I tell you something, for my Home Depot people that are sponsoring me, I'm going to do a little rant. Get all your garbage out of the aisles. I hate when I go into Home Depot and I can't get around because you have all the little knickknacks and all the garbage in the aisle. I wish the fire marshal would come in and shut you down and fine you. If I want your little junky $10 gloves, I know where to find them. You don't have to put 20 pairs in the aisle, especially when I'm trying to run a lumber cart through and there's no place in the aisle. You've got one-way traffic on each side of the aisle because there's so much extra garbage that you're trying to shove on us. I don't like that. I hate when you do that at Home Depot. So do better, Home Depot. Get all the garbage out of the aisles. Don't restrict access. Tape in the corners. This one's easier because I have a better access. I have another door on. I don't know if you can see that, but I have another door on right here. The same story. I just didn't have anywhere to put it. for months and months until I could get all the construction done. So I'll just hang it. So I hung it. I do have some sheetrock mud that's getting on the door jamb, but I could wipe that off with a wet rag later. And plus, I don't even know if I'll paint this door or what I'll do there, but is it the best thing to have the doors on? No, it's not, but it is what it is, people. That's what it is. Okay. Put a little bit of mud on this upper tape right here, because the other tape doesn't have a lot of mud on it. It might not stick. Okay. Get that down to here. Tear it off. Make it pretty. Now I gotta go back and I gotta cover the tape. Go back and cover the tape. Just get a little bit on the corner of the knife. Cover that tape. Working around the door. I gotta have the tape covered because when I run my corner tool down, the corner tool needs to have some nice wet mud to glide on. Okay. Nice wet mud to glide on. Next one. Look how long it's taking me to tape this hallway, people. Now imagine me doing my whole house, okay? This is gonna take some time, but if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. If it's not worth doing right, it's not worth doing, okay? I wish I had a selfie stick. Wish I had a GoPro camera. I don't know what's more entertaining, to watch me work, or if I had a GoPro camera and you could watch as I put the mud on the walls. I don't know what's more entertaining. Alright, we smooth it down now with the corner tool. Can't go all the way down. But I was able to go up just enough with my restricted access. Just remember, if this was easy, everybody would be doing it. Okay. That's how you get ahead in life. You do the things that nobody else wants to do. You set yourself apart. Okay. This house building, it's not easy. I never said it would be easy. I only said it would be worth it. Does that ring true to anybody? But really, this honestly is sheetrock. Sheetrock is easy. It's just repetitive, the same thing over and over and over and over. You know how many inside corners I have on this house? I don't know. I haven't counted them. But I probably have, I don't know, 50 or more. Once you do it, once you get the hang of it, then you can just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. Okay? Take this guy, get those ridges out. Those ridges out. Go back over the little spots that need some more attention. Need a little bit of TLC. Get these ridges out over here. Well, it's time to spot the screw holes. Spot these screw holes. Just making an X pattern. If you go over the screw and you hear that click, 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 that's not good. That means the screw's not in far enough. You take your screwdriver and screw it in more. Now there's no more click. That means my mud will go over and it will be concealed once it's textured. If you hear that click, you're going to see those screws even through that texture. You don't want to see the screw holes. Found another one. There. That's another reason my wrist is throbbing, because I was using the impact driver to put the screws in, but then I put the impact driver in my pickup to take it to another job, and I don't have another impact driver, so I got to use the screwdriver. Now, why am I even doing the screws around the attic access? I'm going to put a piece of trim there anyway. Well, yeah, it's just, I'll tell you why, because it's my own house and I can do whatever I want. That's why. Okay, that's the nice thing about building your house. If you want to do a little OCD stuff like that, like you want to cover the screw holes and it's going to be under trim, guess what? It's your own house and you can do that. If I was working for somebody else that would say, "Don't do that, wasting time, time's money, don't go on, skip those." But guess what? It's my own house, so I can do that. Okay? That's a luxury I can afford. I can afford. Even if there's a screw that's going to be under trim, I don't want to get sloppy. I don't want to learn the wrong habits, and so it's just a matter of principle. That's why I'm doing it. Okay. It's your own house. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Now you can't go and make all these code violations because then you'll get in trouble, but when I say whatever you want, don't take that too literally. But generally, it's your own house. You can do whatever you want, okay? Especially if nobody's paying you to do the work. You could just say, "Hey, I can do whatever I want. You're not paying me to do this. I can do it my way. I can do whatever I want. If you want to tell me what to do, then pay me." Okay? So that's why I can do it my way. Because nobody's paying me to do it. Okay? Screw holes. Cover these screw holes. Even though they're going to be covered by trim. Just do it right. Don't get in bad habits. Don't take shortcuts. There's no shortcuts in life. Okay. Just remember, if it's your own house, you can do whatever you want. Supposedly. When I had my plumber, I had a buddy that was a plumber, and he agreed to let me be his, he was my consultant, basically, okay? I didn't really want him to do the work on my house because I didn't have enough money to pay him. And I'm not going to ask him to work on my house, just on a friendship basis. I don't do that. If I can't pay somebody, I'm not going to have him out working on my house. And so he went through the system with me, walked through it. I paid him to come out, paid him for the afternoon, just to come out and pick his brain. And we went over everything, and he's like, yeah, it's just good work. And sounds like you've been doing your research, you've been doing your homework. And the best advice he gave me was what I'm telling you right now. It's your own house, you can do whatever you want. Now, like I said, I didn't go and violate all these plumbing codes and blah, blah, blah. I stuck to the code, I did all the inspections, did all the pressure tests, and, it's done. Time will tell if I overlooked something and my plumbing's leaking and ruining all my sheetrock. But guess what? If that does happen, who's going to fix it? Right here, sheetrocker, expert sheetrocker, okay? So that's another reason to do your own sheetrock, is because if you have a plumbing leak, then you have to go back and fix your plumbing leak, and you know how to do it, okay? So the best advice he gave me was, it's your own house, you can do whatever you want. And that gave me confidence to make decisions. If there's something I wasn't sure on, I'm not going to call him on a Saturday morning at 6 o'clock and wake him up and be like, well, what do I do now? What do I do now? I just remember, it's your own house, you can do whatever you want, okay? So that's going to give you some confidence during the process of your build. Remember, you're the boss. There's no other, nobody else up above you on a chain of command. The buck stops with you. To give you some confidence and have the ability to build your own house. And the nice thing about working on a remodel and adding on to an existing house like I've done here is, there's no way I can do a worse job than what I was living with. Okay? This house, the existing house, it was a cat piss special, and just years and years of neglect and people living in here with mental illnesses and just, I don't know a better word for this. I'm sorry if I offend people by saying this, but these people were just white trash. And just living in a house after people like that, it's like, there's no way I can do a worse job, because the guy that lived here supposedly fixed it up. And I'm looking at everything he did, and I'm like, there's no way I could do a worse job than he did. And I guarantee you I didn't do a worse job than he did. So there's another little confidence booster for you people out there. If you buy an old piece of garbage, like I did, save some money, just remember, there's no way you could do a worse job than the people before you did, okay? A little bit of confidence booster for you. Covering the screw holes, even the ones that are going to be under the trim, because that's who I am, that's why. Am I wasting my time? Well, yes, I am wasting my time. Because there are other things I could be doing right now that will be a worse waste of time than covering up screws that are going to be under door casing. Yes, there are other things I could do right now that would be a worse waste of my time. the covering up screws that are going to be under the door casing. Okay.